All right, me and my man Sess, back at you again. Now we want to talk about pretty much the fights that went on this week. We had a lot of activity, Premier Boxing Champion fights. I think it was one was on Tuesday, one was on Wednesday. I don't even remember the fucking days, B. All I know is I was in front of the TV in tune to all the fights that went down this week, man.
Absolutely.
So tonight we had two excellent fucking fights, man. The undercard was Koki Kameda versus Kohei Kano. Excellent fucking fight. Main card was Nathan Cleverly versus Andrzej Fonfara. Excellent fights. We got two fights that are possibly fight of the year candidates. The undercard fight, these motherfuckers is throwing blows left and right. No breathing. The only time these motherfuckers took a breath was when they had their 1 minute on their stool in between rounds, and then after that, they went right back to business, man. Koki Kameda came into the fight as a favorite, even though Kanu was the champion, simply because Kanu has 8 losses already. So, and Koki Kameda is very popular in Japan, so yeah, he came in as a favorite, and they gave the fight to the right man. Kohei Kano actually kept his belt. He beat Koki Kameda easily, in my opinion. There was a lot of punches. Anything that Kameda did, Kano did ×2 back to him. And I'm glad they gave the right man the belt. I'm glad they gave the right man the belt.
Definitely. I'll second that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the main event, same shit. But the difference was these weren't super flyweights. These were fucking light heavyweights. So much so, they kept the same pace as Kano and Kameda that they broke the record for punches landed and punches thrown in a fight in the light heavyweight division, man.
We witnessed history.
Yes, absolutely fucking ridiculous. Excellent fight. Nathan Cleverly came to fight. I was never high on Nathan Cleverly. I always thought he was a second-tier fighter, and I still think he is. I remember back when he had the WBO belt at light heavyweight, and Sergey Kovalev challenged him. I immediately picked Kovalev by knockout. You know what I'm saying? I knew who Kovalev was at the time, so a lot of people didn't know who he was. He wasn't that popular, especially not as popular as he is now. So I kind of had a cheat sheet on him, and I knew he was gonna knock Nathan Cleverly out just based on Nathan Cleverly's fighting style. Fans, you can look at Cleverly how he fought tonight against Fonfara. That's exactly the same style that he fought Kovalev with, and you'll see why he got knocked the fuck out. So, I mean, I was never high on him. Fonfara, I was never high on him. He beat, first time I watched him, he beat Gabriel Campillo. If you guys don't know who that is, Gabriel Campillo is the guy that beat, what's my man's name? I can't remember his name. He's with Don King. He fought Donna Stevenson, black guy. First guy to
Tavares Cloud.
Yes, Tavares Cloud. I remember that fight like 2-3 years ago. Gabriel Campillo beat the dust off this motherfucker.
He did,
But they gave the fight to Tavares Cloud.
Tavares Cloud,
And then Andrzej Fonfara beat Campillo, so I was like, okay, this motherfucker might have some. I don't think he's that good. Then he fought, Donna Stevenson a few fights later. Came up short, but reinvigorated his career when he was the first guy to knock out Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And then after tonight's fight, it's blatantly clear that Fonfara is a much better fighter than he was in the past.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's got the WBC silver belt right now, which makes him the mandatory for Adonis Stevenson once again. And I believe without a doubt, he deserves that rematch, B.
100% without a shadow of a doubt. His performance tonight was amazing. Both guys put on just amazing performances. They kept the same pace from round 1 to round 12. They were both landing just great shots on each other. The only thing that I wanted to see more from Fonfara were body shots. I wanted him just to really throw some more body shots. and to really stick that uppercut in there more than what he was doing. I believe when he actually did throw the uppercut, he ended up breaking Cleverly's nose. So yeah, I wanted him to slip the uppercut in there a little bit more, but he did a wonderful job, man. I actually became a Fonfara fan after the Adonis Stevenson fight.
Yes.
Like you said, I wasn't real big on him, but after he fought Stevenson and I seen his heart and I seen his will, his grit, his determination to take some of the body shots he was taking and to get right back up, I mean that's crazy. Anybody that's ever been in the ring and has actually been hit with a good body shot from somebody that can punch like Adonis Stevenson, you don't typically get back up from those type of punches.
It hurts.
Exactly. And if you do, you sure as hell don't get back up to drop the guy that just dropped you with a body shot.
Right.
I mean, it takes everything off your punches, you know. So for Fonfara to be able to do that, for him to be able to go into the Chavez Jr. fight and beat Chavez the way he beat him, man, I'm just high on this dude right now. You know, he's a great fighter. I love his attitude. I love his personality. I'm liking everything about him.
Did you hear what he said after the fight?
No, I didn't catch it.
Go after party. After party.
Oh yeah.
Motherfucker said an after party at a restaurant. Who the fuck go to an after party at a restaurant? Dude, my bad. Anyway. Ain't no bitches at no after party at a restaurant, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but yeah, 100% respect for Andrzej Fonfara. Excellent fighter. I want to see the fucking rematch because I actually have him in the rematch. I think he beats Adonis. If this guy comes in there the way that he's fighting he fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Nathan Cleverly tonight, apart from his defense needs work. Apart from that, Adonis Stevenson only has one fucking punch, and that's the left hand. He literally charges around the ring with his left hand cocked.
Yep.
I think Andrzej Fonfara is a much polished fighter. Yeah, absolutely, B. A much polished fighter compared to the Fonfara that fought Adonis Stevenson the first time. And I don't think he would become susceptible to that in the second fight. And actually, you can see evidence of that in the second half of their first fight when he started coming. He was beating the shit out of Adonis Stevenson in the second half of their fight.
Yeah, he was. On
top of that, Adonis Stevenson was tired as fuck.
Yes, so, he was very tired.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, and that's one of the things that I really like about Fonfara. He's tall and he stays on top of you. You know, he can actually fight either way, and the dude actually has a really good jab as well. His jab in the Cleverly fight was nice. He just elected not to really use it as much because he didn't want to make it a boxing match. He wanted to more so make it a fight. Yeah. You know, and I think he really wanted to put on a show for all the Poles that were in the crowd. He was fighting in his hometown, or you know, he was fighting in front of his home crowd. So I like I said, I commend him on everything he did in the ring tonight. And also, I do believe that Fonfara is a better boxer than what people expect. Like I said, he can fight either way. Now, he's not a world beater when it comes to being a boxer, but I think he's a better boxer than what he puts on. I would rather him continuously fight the way he's fighting, especially if it's working against these guys. But with that type of jab, he can actually do whatever he wants.
That dude can actually outbox the shit out of Adonis Stevenson.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he was doing in the second half of their fight.
Yep.
If he were to get the rematch and I was his trainer, I would be working on his foot speed, his jab, straight combinations, his lateral movement. I'll be working on that the entire fucking training camp. I'll be like, of course you need to work on his inside, helping him get acclimated to the inside game because that's what Adonis Stevenson is going to try to do. Right?
Yeah.
But I would stress that he does not get in that situation because he won't need to. Just outbox this motherfucker from the outside. And I believe that he can actually, if he does what he needs to do the right way, he could beat Adonis Stevenson without any problem.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, he has the fucking tool set to do that shit.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree, 2K, but I'm gonna actually go out on a limb and say that if he wants to go on the inside with Adonis, he should be able to beat him on the inside as well, because his volume is what's really gonna fuck Adonis head up. You know, and he's just one of those dudes, man, that, I mean, his heart and his grit and determination kind of wills him through a fight. Yeah. So if it's not working from the outside, I would actually want him to go inside with Adonis, just because I know he's going to use his size and he's going to use those when you watch the Cleverly fight, and I always try to put people on this, his combination started at 3. Right. So he was throwing jab, right hand, left hook, then the combination started. So when you got somebody that has that type of volume, whew, it's tough to beat a dude like that, especially when he's tall and he can fight inside as well. That's tough.
Yeah, and don't quote me 100%. I just know it's over 1,000. He threw something like 1,200 punches in this fight.
Good.
Cleverly threw like 1,100, somewhere in that. They both threw over 1,000.
Yeah.
They combined for over 2,000, which was the new light heavyweight record.
They look like big versions of Antonio Margarito.
Yeah, it was. Man. Excellent fucking fight. Excellent fight. All right, next topic. You gotta get on the motherfucking upset that happened. And we're a little late with this YouTube. It's okay. It's never late to talk about a fucking upset. And the next one that I'm gonna talk about, a fucking robbery. Never too late for that. This shit needs to be fucking addressed, B. Aaron Martinez gets the fucking UD over Devon Alexander. Now, this shit right here, man, this was a make or break fight for Devon Alexander. If this motherfucker didn't win, which he didn't, his career is pretty much on the plank right now. That shit getting ready to get tossed overboard. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see him being anything other than a gatekeeper, because now what happens is he doesn't get the big fights anymore. Yeah. He just lost to a C-level fighter. A guy that got knocked out only a year ago by fucking Jose Cito Lopez, dude. Jose Cito Lopez has been like boxing's bitch recently. Yeah, yeah. Motherfuckers are just tossing this nigga up. As soon as he beat Victor Ortiz, Saul Canelo Alvarez tossed him up. Yep. Marcos Maidana tossed him up. Yep. Even Andre Berto got a piece of that ass. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Andre Berto, washed up Berto, who just lost to fucking Jesus Soto Carras right before that, got a piece of that booty.
Knocked him out.
And this is the same man that knocked out Aaron Martinez in the 5th round. Had no trouble with him, but that man goes on to beat one of the guys that's supposed to be elite in the fucking division. Yeah. Give me your assessment, B, before I get in on that motherfucker.
Oh, man. Oh, man. You know what? I cannot say I didn't expect this to happen. Yeah. This was something that I actually kind of expected because of Aaron Martinez's performance against Robert the Ghost Guerrero. Yeah. And I was feeling like Martinez kind of found himself, you know, and he kind of knew he was he started playing to his strengths. Right. And just staying on top of these dudes, making it a rough, tough, nasty type fight. And that's exactly what he did to Devon, the great Alexander. And that's what I'm gonna start calling him, man. The great. You know, he's a little, you know, kind of hard on the outside, just a little bit, but in the inside, he's just soft and gushy, and you can just break him down. You know, you don't have to do nothing special. You just stay on top of his ass and, you know, put pressure on him, throw a lot of punches, and he will eventually, mentally, he breaks down in fights. Exactly. He doesn't have it all there, man, when the fight is not going his way. We seen this with Timothy Bradley. We seen this with Sean Porter. And we seen it when he was getting his ass outboxed by Amir Khan. Yep. The problem is he does not have a plan B, and that's what really showed up in this Aaron Martinez fight, was that the fact that he did not have a plan B. When it wasn't working, he had nowhere to go.
Let me. I'm not disagreeing with you not one bit, B. But let me say this. I think he does have a plan B. He chooses not to fucking use it. Like, for example, in the Amir Khan fight, actually before the Amir Khan fight, my man was basically saying, nobody can outbox me. I haven't been outboxed since I was an amateur. I remember him saying that shit, right? So his plan A was to go in there and outbox Amir Khan. Even though this motherfucker, we obviously saw by like round 4, he has no business trying to box Amir Khan.
It wasn't working.
And Kevin Cunningham was telling him, hey, apply pressure. He didn't do it. That would have been plan B, apply pressure, right? Yep. But we did see plan B against Aaron Martinez. You see what I'm saying? He has a plan B.
Okay.
He just he never fucking uses it. In the Aaron Martinez fight, plan B would have been to fight the way he fought Amir Khan, but he didn't use it. So he has like a mental issue where he has plan A, which it could be either fight on the inside or try to make it rough and tough or box, and then plan B would be the exact opposite, but he never goes to plan B. That's the fucking problem.
Yeah, you know, my problem with Devon is, even if he does choose to fight inside, to me, he's not built that way. No, you know, he's just not built to fight inside. You know, whenever I think about fighting inside, it always takes me back to football. Anybody that has played football or watched football, they should know what I'm saying. When you got those big down linemen, that's the nastiest place on the field. You know, that's where guys get punched. That's where they get their nose broke. I mean, it takes strong individuals, man, to play on that front line, defensively and offensively. So I always take that back and I compare it to boxing. You have got to be, regardless of the weight class, you got to be that big 300, 400 pound down lineman that can take anything, you know, because half the shit the refs are not going to see it. You know, when the guy is pulling your face mask down, you know, or he's just doing little shit to kind of get to you. The ref's not going to see it because they're so close. It's the same thing with boxing. Yep. You know, and Aaron Martinez was that big, nasty 300, 400 pound down lineman that was willing to do anything to, you know, get the victory. Yep. And Devon Alexander is just not like that. When he's in the inside, he still tries to be just too pretty. He still tries to be too technical. Yeah. If I were in the inside with Aaron Martinez, and we're just hypothetically speaking, you know, we're just putting this out there. If I went inside with him, I would have been ripping body shots. I mean, just ripping body shots, because Aaron Martinez is somebody that, and if you don't have that type of power, you're not gonna get his respect, especially if he's already doing pretty good in a fight. Right. You know, you're not gonna easily get his respect. So what you have to do is you got to break him down to the body so that he starts to actually feel the headshots. And Devon did not do that. He never created space. He was trying to use his elbow to kind of, you know, get a little space between his punches, but all Martinez was doing was just stepping right back in the inside. Almost like he was saying, no, bitch, nah, bitch. You know? So, you know, you're not going nowhere. Yep. So that would have been my game plan. If I was forced to fight him inside, I would have been ripping body shots. And also because Martinez is so heavy on his front foot, I would have been letting him walk in the uppercuts all night.
Dude. This was an easy fight. If I was the trainer, the game plan probably would have took me 5 minutes to develop against Aaron Martinez. Dude, this motherfucker was in the inside and his fucking feet were literally they're like this. Yeah. Them motherfuckers was parallel to each other. Yeah. You're supposed to be like this. Yeah. If you're a righty. Like this, if you're a southpaw. Boxing one-on-one. Never like this. You see what I'm saying? his motherfucking feet were holding hands, B. Like they were dating and shit. Parallel to each other. You know what I'm saying? That's why Devon Alexander, whenever he would nudge him a little bit, because on the inside, this is another thing that pissed me the fuck off. Devon Alexander, gotta get comfortable, B. Devon Alexander is on the inside, right?
Yep.
Aaron Martinez is here with his motherfucking parallel feet. Devon goes like this to create a little bit of space. Aaron Martinez is already flying across the fucking ring. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but he's able to create the distance. You know what I'm saying? Now, what Devon should have done and what fucking Kevin Cunningham was telling him was, box, use your fucking jab. Once Aaron Martinez actually got in there, and Devon, they getting work in there, and Devon creates the distance. At that point, you've created the distance to where you can get your punches off. You're the faster, slicker, smarter, or should have been smarter, right? More athletic, more gifted fighter, and you can fight from the outside. You have that ability. So when you create that distance, use what the fuck your strengths are. And that is your hand speed and your straight punches. You know what I'm saying? Create the distance, pop, 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 move back, switch, pop, 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 move back, turn. Rinse and fucking repeat. It's an easy game plan for a guy that's just running at you like this. His hands are right here. All this was open. You know what I'm saying? And then he wasn't tight with it, so his body was open. You feel me? So it's like, are you fucking kidding me? You couldn't step back and be like, bop, to the chest, to the body, nothing. You had to, you create the distance, and then you run after him to get back on the inside. What the fuck are you doing?
It's just horrible performance, man. Horrible performance. I'm sorry, 2K. Let me say this, man. I think Devon has lost. He's lost his heart. I honestly don't believe he has the stomach for boxing anymore. He doesn't have that will to win. He starts out wanting to win, and he trains his ass off to get in shape and all of those things, but he just doesn't have the will to win when it gets tough. Another point I want to make is he looked tired. I don't know if anybody else seen this, but to me, he looked a bit, I don't want to say fatigued, but he did,
He was fucking tired because he's trying to fight a fight that he is not good at.
Exactly.
That's why.
Exactly. So he looked tired, man. He looked like he was just ready to go home and just turn it in. It wasn't working and it wasn't gonna work.
I mean, and it was evidenced by what he said to Kevin Cunningham after, I believe, don't quote me, YouTube, it was around 4 or 5. He was bitching about his eye, and Kevin was like, well, you want me to stop it? You in a fight. What the fuck you talking? Why you talking like that for?
Exactly.
We in a fight. See, this relationship between Devon Alexander and Kevin Cunningham is very reminiscent to a relationship that just ended between Tim Bradley and Yoel Diaz. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Kevin Cunningham, this is the second fight, and at first I was critical of Cunningham because when I first watched the Amir Khan fight live, I did not hear Kevin Cunningham giving Devon Alexander the right instructions, right? But then I watched it again and I actually did hear it. So before I watched it the second time, I was like, man, Kevin Cunningham is just like Mike Stafford. He's a yes man. He don't know what the fuck he doing. Fuck that nigga. Get that nigga. You know what I'm saying? But then I watched it the second time and I actually heard him giving the instructions that Devon Alexander needed to fucking do to actually beat Amir Khan, and it was just Devon not executing him. So it's exactly the same shit that Yoel Diaz is going through with Tim Bradley. Tim Bradley would elect a slug after his boxing ability is just tenfold, better than his opponents, Ruslan Provodnikov, Jesse Vargas. You know what I'm saying? Just tenfold better than these guys, but then he would just elect a slug because he has a different agenda, because he cares about the fans more than he cares about his health and his fucking legacy, right? So he elects the slug and almost gets knocked out in both fights. You see what I'm saying? So this is exactly what Devon Alexander did. The only difference between Tim Bradley and Devon Alexander is that Alexander actually fucking lost because of his bad decision making. You see what I'm saying? So if his career actually continues, I think I think he may need a new trainer, and it's not Kevin Cunningham's fault.
Yeah.
It's because it's not there anymore. If I were Cunningham, I would leave him. I'd be like, fuck it, B, you're not listening to me. Go get somebody else.
You ruining my reputation.
Exactly. Because motherfuckers that don't have an eye for how this shit is really going down, they're gonna blame it on the trainer.
Oh, they're gonna blame it on Just
like in other sports like football and basketball, when a fucking team sucks, the first motherfucker they look at is the coach. They don't look at the sorry ass niggas that are on the court or on the field. They look at the coach. Same in boxing. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So if I was Kevin Cunningham, I'd dip on this motherfucker if he continued his career, dude.
Oh yeah. Take off on him. But let me say this: the fight to see that I want to see, I'm calling it right now. Aaron Martinez versus Errol the Truth Spence. I believe that PBC will make that fight. That'll probably be a quote unquote step up fight for Errol Spence. Now, it won't be a step up fight the way that we're thinking about it, but it will be a step up fight in terms of how Martinez has looked in his last two performances. So this isn't a step up opponent in terms of somebody that's actually going to challenge him. But because of what Martinez has been able to do in his last couple fights against top names, it's gonna be it'll be a good name to have on his record.
I mean, and this is the problem. You're alluding to the problem that I have in boxing.
Yeah.
Devon Alexander has now given Aaron Martinez the opportunity to be a household name, just like Victor Ortiz gave sorry ass. I don't give a fuck who gets mad at me. Sorry, trash can, garbage ass Jose Cito Lopez, a household fucking name. Right? These guys are not. They should not be listed up there.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, Jose Cito Lopez, he's a story now. He just signed, or not signed, but he just switched his trainers to Robert Garcia. He's working with him now. That was actually a fucking news article on multiple boxing websites.
Yep.
And I'm looking at this like, who gives a fuck? It's Jose Cito Lopez. He can't beat any fucking body. You know what I'm saying? Who's he gonna fight that he could beat? It had to be a bunch of C-level motherfuckers that we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yep. If you're putting a story on this motherfucker, then obviously you're saying that he matters in the division he's in. And he's at 147. He can't beat the wackest motherfucker at 147. You know what I'm saying? So I think, be honest with you, if him and Victor Ortiz rematch, I'm taking Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? I might take Ortiz, B. You know what I'm saying? That's a 50-50 fight to me. But this is the same shit that's gonna happen to Aaron Martinez now, because he beat a guy that was perceived to be elite. Granted, he lost badly to Amir Khan, but people don't forget that Devon Alexander is a two-time champion. He's a champion at 140, he's a champion at 147. Okay? So people don't forget that. And with that said, you gotta rate him B level. He's beaten contenders and he's beaten current, or at the time they were current champions. That's how he got his belt. Juan Urango and Randall Bailey. You know what I'm saying? So, with that said, they're not gonna forget who he beat. Therefore, they're gonna give him matchups with Errol Spence. We might even see him fight Kell Brook based on the type of guys Kell Brook fucking picks. You know what I'm saying? Tim Bradley may fight him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we might see shit like that, and it might be for a fucking title shot. And it should be. Aaron Martinez is not a good fighter. He's not. He just caught a guy that decided to be extremely fucking hard-headed. And he did what he was supposed to do to win. That does not make him a good fighter. He should not fight these guys. Aaron Martinez needs to go fight guys on Jose Cito Lopez's level. It's kind of like a motherfucker, like y'all playing ball, right? You're playing ball with a guy, and the game's tied. You're on one team, your friend's on another team. Game's tied. But one of the wackest players on your friend's team makes the game-winning shot. And then all of a sudden, this motherfucker wants to be the guy that gets the ball every play. Slow your roll, player.
Yeah.
You're still a scrub, nigga. You just made one shot.
Yeah.
Same thing with Aaron Martinez.
There we go.
And I'm gonna close that shit right there, B. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
So next topic, Al Heyman. Good old Al Heyman.
Good old Al.
I love my man, dog. You know what I'm saying? Look,
Oh yes.
I gotta respect him because I'm able to go on my motherfucking den. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And watch boxing on Channel 2. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
Channel 1,
yep.
nigga. Some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Channels that you ain't even supposed to watch boxing on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hallmark Channel and shit. There's a there's a fight on Bounce TV in a couple weeks. I can't remember what it is. But shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Not supposed to watch boxing on channels like that, but you're able to because of Al Heyman. Another thing, boxing, the sport of boxing nowadays, there's a lot of fighters that don't eat. It's easy to be broke as a professional boxer.
Oh man, hell yeah.
There's a hell of a lot of documented cases where a fighter is holding down a second job. Case in point, Gabe Rosado. He's not doing it anymore. But at one point, I remember watching YouTube videos and listening to a lot of boxing pundits talk about Gabe Rosado possibly being the face at 154. I remember they would say he would beat Canelo Alvarez. I remember this shit.
Oh.
I know. At the time, when he was getting talked about like that, his second job was Home Depot.
Yeah.
My man was working at Home Depot. That's because he wasn't eating. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers like Andrzej Berto, who's been, I think he's, actually Andrzej Berto is Al Heyman's longest client right now.
Yeah.
He's been eating for the longest, even when he was sorry as fuck, when he was getting beat by Robert Guerrero, Jesus Soto Carras. You know what I'm saying? He was still eating because he was with Al Heyman.
Yep.
So his fighters eat. Y'all gotta respect that, regardless of all the bad shit y'all say about this man.
Oh yeah.
So I respect that 100%, but I cannot turn my cheek on how many fucking robberies that go on Premier Boxing Champions.
Yeah.
So earlier this week, we had Gerald Washington versus Amir Mansour. Now, the first rounds were good for Washington, right? I gave the first round to Amir Mansour because of Amir Mansour's ring generalship and his relentless pressure. Gerald Washington was still trying to fill him out. Amir Mansour came into the round knowing what he already needed to do. He was a shorter guy. I think Mansour is like 6'1". Gerald Washington is 6'6".
Yeah,
Mansour already knew what he needed to do, get on the inside. So that's exactly what he did. So I gave him that round, but it was a swing round. He could have gave it to Gerald Washington. So for rounds 1 through 4, Gerald Washington looked really good. I mean, I was watching, I was like, damn, he might be a pretty good opponent for Ruslan Shagayev and maybe Deontay Wilder, right?
Okay,
that's what I was thinking. Because he was pumping the jab. Amir Mansour would try to rush at him. My man would jump back, and then he would use lateral movement, and it looked really good. It looked like he was like a light heavyweight.
Yeah.
Super middleweight. He looked really good on his feet.
Yep.
But after round 4, it was like my man forgot how to box.
Yeah.
And he came into this fight with the reputation that he fades after 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Well, in this fight, he faded after 4.
Yeah.
And from rounds 5 to 10, it was all Amir Mansour, B. All Amir Mansour. There's no way you can give this fight to Gerald Washington.
Yeah.
Literally from rounds 5 to 10, Amir Mansour is pressuring him. Now it was sloppy. The fight was not a pretty fight like tonight's fights were.
Yeah.
They were not pretty. But Amir Mansour was pressuring the fuck out of this guy. He was winging shots. Just pressuring, just winging.
Yeah.
Gerald Washington is retreating, but he's not retreating the way he was in the first 4 rounds. It's not graceful movement anymore. It's more like faded, tired man. Stamina gauge is pretty much on E type movement. Yeah. So he basically is like retreating against the ropes, and he's getting hit. Maybe Amir Mansour would throw 8 punches at him. He'd only land 2. That's how sloppy Mansour's offensive attack was. But it was the fucking ring generalship. He dictated the pace. He kept Gerald Washington on his back foot, and Gerald Washington absolutely has zero ability to fighting on his back foot.
That back foot.
He can't fight on his back foot for shit. He can't throw a punch and back up for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened from round 5 to 10. He kept retreating to the ropes. He would get caught maybe 1 or 2 times out of 300 punches thrown by Mansour.
Yeah.
And then he would tie him up immediately. And then rinse and repeat. The same shit happened over and over again.
Yeah.
So there's absolutely no fucking way that you can give only 3 rounds of Amir Mansour when he is blatantly dictating the fucking pace. Neither fighter was landing at a high connect rate. I think both of them were like 22%.
Yeah.
Right? Neither fighter landed at a high connect rate, but Amir Mansour threw way more punches because he was the aggressive fighter. He was the guy bringing the fight to his opponent. When rounds are sloppy looking like that, you have to dictate the winner of the round based on pace.
Yeah.
Who was the ring general?
Yep.
Who took the fight to who? If it's not a clear cut, guys getting punched in the face and catching counters like Floyd be doing to motherfuckers, then that's what you judge it off of.
Yeah.
And judging it based off that, Amir Mansour won this fight by fucking at least 2 points. That's at the least. No draw. No draw, B.
No.
You only could give Gerald Washington the first 4 rounds, and I only gave him 3 of the 4 rounds. So I had my scorecard 97-93 for Amir Mansour. Just a blatant fucking robbery. The result was a draw. Blatant fucking robbery because Adelaide Bird had the fucking fight score 97-93 for Gerald Washington. I think she meant to put Amir Mansour.
Yeah.
And when they fucking read the scorecard, she was probably like, oh shit. Oh no, wrong person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can see that happening because there's absolutely no fucking way he won this fight, dude. No way. Then the other judge had it 96-94 for Mansour, which was the correct scorecard. And then the last judge had it 95-95, so it was a split draw.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking absurd. It's obvious that Al Heyman had Adelaide Bird in the pocket. I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but it's obvious. And then we saw the same thing with Dominic Brazil and Fred Cassie a couple weeks prior.
Yep.
There's no way Dominic Brazil won that fight, right?
Yeah.
That shit might have been worse.
Yeah.
Fred Cassie beat this motherfucker, dog. There's no way. You know what I'm saying? But one judge had all 10 rounds scored for Dominic Brazil. And that's what I'm talking about, man. Like,
horrible.
They gotta be in the pocket. There's no other way to explain this, dog.
Oh yeah. I think with Al Heyman and some of these PBC cards, the winners of some of these robberies have already pretty much been signed to fight a particular guy. All they gotta do is show up, win. Well, basically all they gotta do is show up and they'll win the fights. Show up, stay on your feet, and you'll get the victory. So I can see Dominic Brazil versus Gerald Washington down sometime maybe to close out the year, or maybe early 2016, and then all of a sudden they fight a Deontay Wilder who, will probably beat them, pretty easily. But that's what it seems like is going on, man. With Al Heyman, you can never overlook the possibility of these things turning out to be, pre-predicted, and they're just pretty much leading up to a fight that they actually want to make.
Yeah, absolutely, and I 100% agree with that. I think that's what it is. From the beginning of this shit with Al Heyman and PBC, I had been saying that he's going to be looking to keep as much money in-house. That's why he's signing all these fighters.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that makes perfect sense, and it falls in line with my theory of how he's going to try to keep as much money in-house as possible. I think he's grooming these guys to. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them become possible opponents for Deontay Wilder down the line.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either.
You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't be surprised either.
And I don't think either one of these guys will win a title. Put them in the ring with Ruslan Shagaev, Vladimir Klitschko, Deontay Wilder, those are the 3 heavyweight champions right now.
No.
They get knocked the fuck. Dominic Brazil probably gets knocked out of the ring like what Oleg Moskayev did to Hasim Rahman twice. You know what I'm saying? Dominic Brazil might get knocked out the fucking ring. I'm not even trying to be funny. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Gerald Washington has a better chance, but he will end up getting knocked out probably just as bad. But he has a better chance. For 4 rounds, he'll give us a good fight. In the words of Bernard Hopkins to Jean Pascal, you a 4-round fighter. Yeah. You a 4-round fighter. Exactly, dude. Exactly. All right, man. So we go ahead and close it like this. YouTube, drop your comments. What did you think of tonight's fights? I totally think that they're both candidates for Fight of the Year. Oh, absolutely. They're actually very neck and neck on that shit. What did you think of the upset of the year, which would probably be the upset of the year? Devon Alexander, Aaron Martinez. And what do you think of Al Heyman and his cards and his fighters? Are those judges in the pocket? Are these robberies? Did you think the Amir Mansour Gerald Washington fight was a draw? Let us know. Do what you do in the comment section. Be real. This is real talk for real fans. 1.